not in there.
Who's not?
Go ahead. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's press conference. The Blue Raiders will finally get to play at home. The home opener against TSU this Saturday. The game will be broadcast live on ESPN Plus with a 6:02 kickoff. So to talk about a little bit about last week and then this week's game, I turn it over to the head coach, Rick Stockstill.
Thank you, AC. Appreciate all you guys being on here this morning. Excited, like AC said, to finally be at home this year and open up with Tennessee State, and a lot of respect for Tennessee State, their players, their program, and their coach Eddie George, their staff. They got a really good staff, good coach. Their players are really well coached, and it's a good team. You know, they're 0-2 right now, but had a tough, close opening loss, and then played Jackson State really close last week. So they're very athletic. They can run. They're very diverse on defense. You will see a couple different fronts between a 3-man front, a 4-man front. They mix up their coverages really well. You can see the NFL flavor in their offense and their defense, especially their defense with, their defensive coordinator, Coach Fisher, who I know a little bit and have a lot of respect for. They've done a really nice job over there. And, offensively, they've got good skill players, a lot of transfers on the team on both sides of the ball. So it's an athletic group, and, pretty balanced on offense between run and pass, but they're going to spread you out and try to, create some one-on-one mismatches, and also obviously try to run the ball. So got a big offensive line, and they do a really nice job. They're very solid in the kicking game. We got an all OVC kicker, so it's a good team. And again, like I probably say every week, it's about us. We got to prepare ourselves. We're coming off a nice win last week, and get ready to play a good Tennessee State team.
Coach, Cecil Joyce here.
Good morning, Cecil.
Morning. Coach, they say most of a team's improvement comes between game 1 and game 2 of the season. How much of that did you see with your team, and how much improvement can you see happening between week 2 and 3?
Well, obviously, you hope you improve every week, from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3 to 8 to 9. You want to continue to get better. Your team, a football team, changes every week because of injuries that you have during the course of a year. So every team is different each week, and so you just continue to coach. You continue to work as a player. You can continue to study and develop a game plan that gives you the best chance to be successful on Saturday. So hopefully we'll continue to improve each week.
How much was a change in the team's psyche, after flipping the script between week 1 and week 2?
You mean as of right now?
Correct.
Yeah. Obviously, you have a little bit more confidence. When you win, it breeds confidence. When you lose, it creates doubt, and at times. So I think it was good that, we played, really well defensively. We played, very solid, better in a lot of areas offensively, and we played a lot better, very solid in the kicking game. So, so I think everybody should be a lot more confident in going into this week. And, but just like last week, you look at the mistakes that you made, the things that you did good, and you build on it, correct them. And that's what we've got to do this week. And, what you did last week has no bearing on what's going to happen this week. So we just got to continue to work and stay focused and keep our eye on what's important. And that's being the best team, best player, best person that you can be each day.
Morning, Coach. Sam Dowden here.
Morning, Sam.
Yeah, Tennessee State's obviously a team that Middle Tennessee's had a lot of history with over the decades. How important is it to have, these really local games on the schedule as often as you can have them?
Yeah, I think, anytime you get to play, you go back to Middle Tennessee and the OVC days and, the long history of Tennessee State playing Tennessee State or Tennessee Tech and all those OVC games that or teams that you played, for a long time. There's a lot of history, a lot of tradition, a lot of rivalries that have been developed over a long period of time, playing these teams. So I think it's exciting for our fans. I'm sure it's exciting for their fans. It's exciting for our players because we know our players know a lot of their players. So it'll be an exciting game. And I think it's really important, Sam, for it generates a lot of memories, for your fan base. They can talk about this game, 20 years ago, 10 years ago when we played it. And so I think it's pretty cool, pretty neat that we get to play this game.
And just returning to home this week after two tough road games, how much easier is probably not the word, but how much of an advantage is it to finally be back home and have some of your resources available to you that you didn't have the past 2 weeks?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's critical. We only have, 5 home games again this year. And, it's hard traveling, it takes a toll on your body. And, you get home at 1:00, the last, 2 weekends. And like last week, a 2.5 hour, 3 hour flight. And, that stuff, that takes a toll on you. It takes some time to recover from that. And that's why I'm so proud of how we played this past weekend, going out there and playing as well as we did in the environment that we played in. So, yeah, we're fired up about being at home and being in front of our fans, in front of our families, and, not having to, get on that plane and get on that bus and, go 30 minutes to the hotel. And, so yeah, it's a huge deal to be able to play at home.
Hey, Coach, Chris Harris here.
Hey, Chris, what's happening, my man?
How you doing?
Outstanding.
Wonderful. I was just curious, what comes to mind when you think of Eddie George?
Initially, I think everybody's thoughts go back to when he was a player, not only at Ohio State, but, here locally with the Titans, and just the storied career that he had as a player. And I don't think I've ever met him. But what I admire the most about him is not what he did as a player, his accomplishments as a player, but just every interview I've heard from him or watched him, or people I've watched him be around people, is just what a really, really first-class person he is. He's very humble. He's very sincere. He's very honest. I respect him as a man, and don't know him, that well, other than watching him, speak and interact with people. So initially, everybody's going to talk about a Hall of Fame career, a Heisman career, all that kind of stuff. But I just respect him so much because of the type of man he is. And I know the influence and the impact that he's having on those players over at Tennessee State, is something those guys over there are very lucky to be, have somebody like him talk to them every day.
When you think back to your first year and a half or so as a head coach, what was the learning curve like for you?
You know, you're going to learn something every day. I still learn something every day. You're never a finished product in this profession. There's always something that that you're going to see, that you're going to learn from. So it's, the big thing, just, being able to manage all the things that are outside of football. When you sit in that head coaching chair, there's so many things that, you're responsible for that you're not responsible for as an assistant, and just managing that. And, so I'm sure he's, doing the same thing there at Tennessee State.
Any more questions for Coach?
Thank you, guys. Hope you guys have a great week, and I appreciate you coming on here this morning. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, we'll get started with our student athletes. We'll begin with defensive end Jordan Ferguson, and then right after Jordan will be quarterback Chase Cunningham. Turn it over to Jordan.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning, Jordan. Cecil Joyce here. I hope you're having a good morning.
Yes, sir.
Jordan, talk about that defense just coming out right off the gate, right off the first play of the game last week. And, what was the biggest difference between week 1 and week 2 of your defense? And we assume James Madison is a considerably better team than Colorado State, but most of what happened was on your end. Talk about that.
Yeah, we know we had to come out and do something different in week 1. We were ready to go this week. We had a great game plan as we did with week 1, but we just honestly executed better this second weekend. Like I said, the first week, there's a lot of stuff that's unexpected, whether you got to expect that every week. But, guys got their first game under their belt, a little more experience the second game. We have better eyes, hitting better targets, and guys are honestly ready to go, and I was excited to get that W.
Morning, Jordan. Sam down here. You hear me, Jordan?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Good morning.
Just the defense had a lot of young guys make their first, big plays. I remember talking to Quinn after the game, talking about how he got his first collegiate sack, and then all of a sudden he's, next to your name in the record book at the end of the game. What was it like to see some of those young guys on that defense start to step up and get into their roles the last week?
It's so fun and exciting to see all these guys work really hard. Quadarius Dunn again to be one of the examples. Last year he couldn't play because of an injury the whole season, and people didn't see how hard he worked this off season, and last year not being able to play, and what he did in the spring and the summer and then fall camp is just, he gets to see all that hard work pay off for him, and a lot of other guys too as well that I can name all day, and there's still some more guys to come out and to play who you guys haven't seen yet or made that big play yet. And once you make that big play, the sky's the limit, and it just motivates you to keep doing more. And we got to just keep going to work, stay humble and stay steady, and not too high, not too low, and just keep going, and you'll see more and more guys make big plays like that.
Tennessee State is an offense with a lot of weapons at the skill positions. What are you guys seeing in the film room this week as you are getting ready to prepare?
We know he had a good quarterback, an Austin Peay transfer. I know he's really good as a freshman. I know he's a little older now, and so he got more experience under his belt. He's a great runner. He can throw really well, and you got some guys, some athletic guys on the outside. And my boy Zach Dossman, I can't wait to play this week. We're gonna get after him a little bit, and I know he's gonna try to get after us. But it's gonna be a great challenge this week for our defensive line to attack, and linebackers and DBs to cover, and we got to contain that quarterback. So it's gonna be another challenge, and we're ready to go.
For you, this is going to be your final home opener as a Blue Raider. How exciting is it, number one, just to be back home after 2 weeks on the road, and then to be playing a team, so close to middle and geographically for this final home opener?
It's an exciting moment. I know we played them back in the day. Was it my junior year where I sat out the whole season? I get to play them, so it was exciting to play a team this close. And I know it's not really too much of a rivalry, but in our eyes, it is. And we're gonna have fun playing them. I know the crowd's gonna be ready to go, and to have two away games at first, where it's gonna be fun to get off that plane and to have somebody come to us and open it up right. And I'm excited for my teammates to play in front of the fans and family. I know there's going to be a lot of us out there. Anything we can do to get a win, we're going to do, and we're just ready.
Jordan, man, how you doing, man? This is Jeremy Keller, man. Man, I'm a big fan of your game, man. Just watching the game over the last couple of years. So after a performance like this past weekend, congratulations on a great victory. And then you have the game one performance by the team not being what you all wanted. Like, how important is it coming into game three to be able to establish like your true identity as a team? Is it the game one identity or the game two? Like, how important is that for you and just the team in general to make sure, hey, this is who we are from week to week?
Yeah, so the biggest thing is we know how it feels to lose. We know how it feels to win. And I'm pretty sure all of us, even coaching staff as well, don't want to lose again. And we got to do whatever it takes. I mean, last week we had a great week of preparation going into that game, which kind of helped us. And we got to do that same thing. We got to pound that rock. We got to get guys. It's collective unit. We got to get everybody to do their job, the scout team, special teams, ones, twos, threes, whoever it is, man, we need everybody. And as long as everybody does their part, the sky's the limit, and we're nowhere near our finished product, and that's the most exciting thing, that we have so much more to accomplish. We didn't play a perfect game in any phase of the game, and that's exciting as well too, because you got so much more to learn, so much more to play for, and coach is doing a great job getting us going, and we got to stay motivated as well.
Anything else for Jordan? Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you, guys. Have a great week.
Now I have Chase Cunningham.
Hey, Chase, Cecil Joyce here. How you doing?
Good, Cecil. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. Chase, first of all, talk about, we saw how well this offense can move when you pick up the running game, and Frank had a great game Saturday. Talk about just the balance and how important going forward balance is in your offense.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great thing when you can change things up. Like you said, Frank played a heck of a game. The offensive line, all those guys that are blocking their butts off for him, he played a heck of a game. So it's good, see him running around, running through people. It's a good thing.
Morning, Chase. Sam Down here.
Hey, Sam.
Isaiah Gayfings has been a guy that's really popped off the first couple of games for y'all on offense, but for those of us around the program, we've seen him sort of develop over the past 2 years. How have you seen him grow as a receiver in his time in Murfreesboro?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Zay's a heck of a player. I think the biggest thing for him is we spent a lot of time together this offseason, him and a lot of the other receivers, early mornings on the weekends, just throwing after our workouts in the summers and stuff. So, him and all those other guys, they've really, dedicated to the program, spent a lot of time, with all the quarterbacks this offseason, and I think it's paying off.
I know him and Jimmy Marshall were close last season, I think, because they were both bigger receivers. How similar are their games as someone who's thrown to both of them in this offense?
Yeah, I mean, they're both great players. Obviously can do, different things. They're big bodies, so they can get in there and block a little bit, great running routes, great hands, very dependable, both of them. And, I think they're a good change up for what we do in the offense.
Tennessee State's front seven in particular has gotten a lot of, praise the first couple of weeks, keeping them in tough games of Eastern Washington and Jackson State. What are you guys seeing from them on the film that's going to present a challenge to y'all this week?
I think it's kind of how they've always been. They're super athletic. They're going to be very well coached, and, a lot of athletes out there. So we just got to, be fundamentally sound and, just play our game.
And then being back home for you this week, like I asked Jordan, I think this is going to be your final home opener as well. How exciting is it going to be to finally step back out on the Floyd Stadium field and play at home this season?
Yeah, absolutely. Not getting on a plane is going to be nice, and just getting to play in front of our fans, just be in that environment at, Johnny Red, and it'll be good to be in front of our fans.
Anything else for Chase? All right, guys. All right, Chase. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, and I always want to remind everyone that we're back here next week at 10:30 as well, as the Blue Rays prepare for Miami. All right. Thank you. Thanks, Chase. Appreciate it.